So this video is for AA.2, factor out a monomial. I'm going to do at least 2 examples on this one because you may get these 2 different types. So my first one is 2m minus 4. So when I factor out, here's what you do first. Write down all the numbers, 2, and then that's 4. I don't really worry about the signs until the very end. So think of all the numbers that multiply to 2. 1 times 2 multiplies to 2, and those are all the numbers. All the numbers that multiply to 4 is 1 times 4 and 2 times 2. Okay, pick the biggest number they both have in common, and they both have 2's. Okay, so now that you picked the greatest common factor, that's the number you divide by. So I divide each thing by 2. Now, for your final answer, do not forget to drop that 2 in the very front and put parentheses. Now divide. 2m divided by 2, that's just m. And negative 4 divided by 2, that's negative 2. So that is my final answer, 2 parentheses m minus 2. Alright, now I'm going to try another example. I'm going to jump up a level. Let's see how many levels I can jump up by. Alright, let's do this one. 21a to the power of 4 plus 14a to the power of 3. So same thing. First step is to write out all the numbers, so 21 and 14. 1 times 21 equals 21. 2, nope. 3 times 7 equals 21, and I think that's it. 1 times 14 equals 14. 2 times 7 equals 14, and that is it. So the biggest number they both have in common is 7. So that's what I'm going to divide by, 7. Alright, I picked this example because notice that both terms have letters. Like this first one, there was only one letter. The other number did not have a letter. Here, okay, so biggest hint, if all of them have letters, then you're also going to divide by a letter, okay? I didn't divide by a letter here because not all of them had letters. So the letter you divide by is pick the lowest exponent. Alright, so which one's smaller? A to the power of 4 or a to the power of 3? And I think a to the power of 3 is smaller, so that's what I'm going to divide by. A to the power of 3, a to the power of 3. Remember, do not forget, put what you're dividing by in the front. Put parentheses, and now you can divide. 21 divided by 7, that's 3. A to the power of 4 divided by a to the power of 3. That's the same thing as saying 4 minus 3. 4 minus 3 is 1, so that's the same thing as a to the power of 1. Remember, we don't always write that exponent of 1, we just leave it out. Plus 14 divided by 2, 14 divided by 7 is 2. And a to the power of 3 over a to the power of 3 is the same thing. And simplifies to just 1. So this is my final answer. Let me do one more example. So again, if not all of them have letters, you just divide a number. But if all of them have letters, you make sure you divide by letter as well. Let's try one more. Okay, 2a squared minus 8a. So this is always your first step. Write out the numbers. 1 times 2 equals 2. Those are all the numbers that work. 1 times 8 equals 8. 2 times 4 equals 8, and that is it. The biggest number they have in common is 2. So, oh, my bad. This one had an A, right? Okay. So I divide by 2. And in this example, I have letters in all of the terms, okay? So that means I have to divide by a letter. Remember, if your letter doesn't have an exponent, like this A doesn't have an exponent, the exponent is just 1. We just don't write it down. So which one's smaller, the 2 or the 1? And the 1 is smaller, so make sure to divide by A to the power of 1. A to the power of 1. Write out what you're dividing by in the front. 2A. Now you can divide 2 divided by 2, that's just 1. And then A to the power of 2 divided by A to the power of 1, that's just A. Negative 8 divided by 2, that's negative 4. And then A over A, that's just 1.